going to be a crazy day. What we are taking a look at today is the triumphant return of Trump from the hospital. Is it going to happen? Is it not going to happen? What are we looking at? What are we thinking? We're going to take a look at movie theaters essentially abandoning ship. We're going to take a look at cruise ships. We're going to take a look at amusement parks. We are going to take a look at there's a ton of bio stuff happening. There is. It's going to be a busy day. It's a busy Monday. We'll look at the stimulus package, whether that's going through or not. All kinds of stuff going on, guys. So it's going to be a wild, crazy day. But first and foremost, we are going to get this ball rolling here with. Just loading up marbles. Apparently, there was an update here. Do 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 do. Boost mode. There's an official boost mode? Okay, I'm doing it. Kirby Complex. Boost will work, ladies and gentlemen. You got to time your boost. You only get one. Know what you're doing. Know when you're going to get it in there. Holy jumping. Look at this. I don't know that this is going to be what we want because it looks like everybody and their uncle's in this. So let's back up, I think. Yeah, let's get out of here. There's like a ton of people in this. That's not right.
Good morning, Hero.
All right, let's go to race. Let's try the paperclip here. We'll do this. Okay.
How are you?
I'm doing all right. Trying to figure out what's
loading
today.
Thinking. I still don't know that this is right, but okay, go ahead. Type in exclamation mark join. And let's play.
I don't
is
disagree.
It play? Yeah, play. Play it is. It's play.
Do
Type in play. Let's see what we do here. I don't know if this is going to work or not. We'll give it a run.
I don't think it'll be a good value.
Worst case scenario, if we run it and it doesn't work, then I will simply pick a number from 1 to something, and whoever gets it can pick the stock we watch going into the day.
Yeah, it's a
on the count of 10.
I tried it and it didn't work for me, and then I was like, "Fuck, I don't like losing
money." I'm
money.
pretty sure this is broken, guys. I'm fairly certain that this is broken.
Honestly, it's for me. It's a whatchamacallit.
Rip.
It's just a hobby.
All right, so looks like we had about 1, 2, 3, 4. So we'll call it a number from 1 to 10. Go ahead and type it in. First person that I see, I got the number in my head already. Type in the number that you think it is from 1 to 10, and you can pick the stock that we watch as the market opens today.
So
exactly, it's a little bit different.
It is not 7. It's not 5. It's not 4. Not 9. Not 3. Not 12. No more guesses? Everybody all guessed it? I think we've got 4 numbers left. Well, if you guys are quitting, then I am going to pick the stock for the day. The number was 2. The number was 2. Good guessing all around, though, guys. Really did well. This is how we're going to start a Monday. This is just the best way to start a Monday, that we pick a number from 1 to 10 is difficult for us to knock out of the park. That's okay. We got this. We'll warm up as the day goes by. You know what I mean? We'll watch SPY out the gate here, though, or we'll watch Space out the gate here. Space had some really, really good news in Trump pumping Space Force pre-market. They're up to the 2120 range right now, so things are looking pretty darn tasty right now. I'm very interested as we open here to see what this is going to do. Here we are way up here. Going to refresh this over the past 2 days, see if I can get it to, that's 1 day at the minute. That's 2 days there. 2109. So it's coming down right away from that peak. Expect Space to just continue to run into the end of this week and into the following week. The 22nd is a Thursday.
The whole board is green except for ASAN.
So into Thursday, 2 weeks from now, 2 Thursdays from now, guys. That's when we're looking at the launch.
I just find that the gap is way too big.
Well, go look back. I thought the same. And then I realized a gap filled from when Trump said he had COVID.
Well, I'm talking about Friday.
Where did my pen go? I just had it. I swear
I'm saying.
Like from Thursday to Friday, the gap is too big.
Oh, okay.
I think we need to fill it back to fucking 282 for QQQ.
Is Space going to continue to run here? Is that what we're looking at?
I should specify my bad.
Yeah,
Space isn't coming down. It's still going.
Well, SPY's going too. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
That looks good, yeah. But for Qs, I'm like, this is not enough. Go back up. Go.
Yeah. Not in relation to SPY, right? That's the key. Is they're disproportionate at this moment.
The only thing I'm not green on is ETM, which is okay. That's a Q4 play. Everything else I'm green on. I'm pretty happy with that. $500 out the gate. I'm okay with that. And as far as options go, Space is up $137. My calls for October 30th. So those are looking really, really tasty right now.
Yeah. I just can't find myself to take options in the first 20 minutes.
Yeah, exiled.
He didn't say anything earlier.
Let's check the scanners here, guys, and see what is moving big pre-market.
Is, right?
GRNQ, Myocardia. This is on the BMY news.
Covered call. Let's say you have to have 100 shares or 200 shares or
looks
whatever.
Looks like it's bio day
in
a big way.
You have that.
Lots of bio here
already, and then you sell a call using that as leveraged.
Lots of bio in the top movers.
Tell me if this makes sense, because my brain cannot comprehend what I just read, and okay. I think it's wrong, but I think I'm biased towards the person. So just let me know.
First off, was I right?
Yes.
Okay.
Basically, you have 100 shares of a stock, and then you sell a call to cover that stock. The idea that it's the other part of the wheel. So I mean, yeah.
Okay.
So this guy says, when selling a covered call, how far out would be the optimal to put the strike price? Far out of the money would be less risky, but a very low payout. But near the money would be far riskier, but better premium. Now, this person says, I don't really trade options, so take this with a grain of salt, but I'll try to answer your question for you.
Analysts don't like it. I like it because it's in the... Oh, you guys can hear the sounds in the background, right? Okay, there. Now you can't hear it. Now it should be muted. Sorry. You hear these guys talking over, right? So what we're looking at here, guys, with ETM is into Q4, right? Into Q4, advertising typically goes up. So let me pull ETM as a chart and you guys can see what it is that I'm seeing. I heard a bloop. Smash Eyes, 3 months subscription. Thank you so much, man. Really appreciate that. 2 month streak, auto roll, big old diamond hands. All right, guys. ETM. If we go back, let's take a look at the last 10 years. Okay, headed into, so I entered in August. Let's see where it goes heading into January. Up into January, 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 up into January. Again, guys, I took my entry here, September. Up into January, up into January, up into January every year. So this is my reasoning behind this. Consistently over the last 10 years, it moves up into January. That's on ad dollars. There's usually a huge ad spend heading into Christmas, and then January they post their results. Now, it is down significantly as well. It hasn't really recovered from March. So the opportunity for it to go up into January, back up to this $4 range, would be fantastic. If I could quadruple what I've got in it, right now I'm sitting at about $3,000 in that. If I could turn that into 12,000, that would be super tasty. Yeah. Side eye is the only thing I need to get moving here. And I'm seriously wrestling with just cutting this. I'll need to take a look at that today, guys. If you have stocks you want me to take a look at today, just shout them out. I will make a list, try to get through them all before I leave. I will be heading out around 11 today, I think. Nickel is up again. LPL's up. Enox is up. This was the one that had a bunch of people claiming spam or fake on it. ALNA is up again. ET's up. Space is up. I'd like to see Space keep running. It looks like it's going to come back down to earth a little bit here. On the open, it's only up 50 cents. Oh, no. This is as of last close. It would be amazing if I could take the money from Space and move it into SPAC. Mattel's looking even better, guys, into Q1 with the James Bond cancellation. WPRT's up a little bit. There's not much news that we can see on that. That one's just waiting and watching for China to play out. BlackBerry's a long haul. I'm going to keep that on here just to be aware of what's going on with it. I think if I start to see it make a break for something, then I'll be interested. But Apple's up a little bit. Waiter's up a little bit. I think Waiter's got a lot more room to run. I think we see Waiter go to 6. Okay, Waiter's at, let's say I get Waiter around 350, and I get SPAC around, let's say 1460. Okay, with equity, let's figure out which of these two is going to make me more dollars. Let's say I exit Space with Let's say 10K in hand, okay? Good to be back, Lodix. Thanks for hanging out this morning. All right, we got... So we're saying 10 grand, right? 10,000 divided by 1460. So it looks like we'd get 684 shares. We'll say the sell price is 25. So this is on SPAC, guys. I would say it's looking around 25. We're saying 684 shares. The profit I would see on this would be about 7 grand. If I did the same thing with Waiter, so 28.57. Purchase price would be 350, and I see it going to around, let's say 550. Maybe it doesn't go to 6, but I think 550 is reasonable. I stand to make 5 grand on that. Looks like SPAC is actually the better play. If it goes to 25. If SPAC goes to 25. All right. Not seeing anything super crazy here at the gate as far as news goes, guys. Do you guys have stocks that you want me to take a look at today? If so, you can put them in chat. I will make a point to do that. Apparently, I forgot I had an interview at 11, so I will be out here at 10:30 today. Do. So Enox, guys, the reason why I'm looking at this is it has a couple of big short sellers on it, and it is running right now on the news of, holy crap, Enox. Look at the cost of these freaking options in November. This is nuts. $800 for outside strike. $180. Holy crap. So guys, Anox is sorry, I was hot mic. Okay, so Anox, guys, for those of you that aren't familiar with it. Oh, come on. Seriously, Seeking Alpha? What the heck? So NX, guys, has Muddy Waters on it and Citron on it, which is crazy. UNM. I mean, there's a lot of holds on it, but it's holds to the upsides. Like, this is not terrible. You're not looking at a huge loss. And if you're just playing it on divvies, I think you're going to be okay, man. There's a sell last month by the EVP, but otherwise not a ton. Yeah, I like that play. I like Unum. I think it's a good idea to diamond hands. So around that 20, 19, 17, 22, like you're in a decent range. There's some bigger ones up here that were created a little while back, but I don't think it's going to go down intensely past where it is. I think you could diamond hands it, take the divvy, and be okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if Muddy Waters gets a hold of a stock and their report has this to say: a convicted felon who crashed an 8 billion market cap.com into the ground was seemingly instrumental in plucking Enox out of obscurity and bringing its massively exaggerated story to the US. Enox touts distribution partners that supposedly amount to 180 million in annual commitments. Almost all the company's partnerships give reason for skepticism. What are your thoughts on this stock? Good solid bull play, bear play? What do you think? This is Muddy Waters.
Well, I mean, they came after my Tesla, so I can't say that they're always right. But I would be it's very important to take what they're saying seriously.
So this is the one that they're saying is worse than Nikola. At least Nikola had a truck to push down the hill, is what they're saying. They're talking about this ARC machine. It was the central point of many, I think they mean divisive claims, not decisive claims, but divisive claims that Enox had. This machine was believed to have been operating at the hospital, which in reality it wasn't. A number of radiologists were interviewed whose reports were greatly against Enox. Not even a single radiologist spoke in favor of the company. We conclude that Enox has no real product to sell other than its stock. Options is so expensive. It's at $40 right now.
You want to short it?
Yeah, I want to take a put against it. They're supposed to showcase this thing in November at a conference live. And I'm not sure. I mean, the hype, I guess you could play it either way, right? You could just play the bull on it into that. Same thing as space, right? Like the day before they showcase this thing live at the conference, play it up to that, and then don't have to guess whether or not it actually shows up the next day, right? This thing peaked at around $65. It's up 10% today already. Holy crap. Yeah, Nikola 2.0, not exactly what you want on your business card. Agreed. Yeah, definitely no complaints with space, guys. Pretty happy with what's going on there. Man, oh man, oh man, oh man. Yeah, that'll be into Q1 of next year. LPL will be into their performance. So let's pull up the charts here. LPL, big sheet.
I gotta say though, starting to watch American TV again, and
Okay. This is the last 10 years. So into Q1, up, into Q1 from a September entry, up. This year, no. This year, yes. This year, no. This year, yes. 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 So it looks like as long as you enter around September, get out by January on the peak, you should be fine. KOS. Yeah, so they had an announcement. Enox had the announcement that they were showcasing they're showcasing this device at a medical conference on November 7th. So that's what's starting to drive this up is this idea that they're going to show the equipment working that Muddy Waters is claiming that the radiologists at the hospital say doesn't work and doesn't exist. Now, the extent at which it needs to work, again, this could be another in motion thing, right? Where it's like, well, yeah, it runs, but it doesn't do what you said it was going to do. It just takes a picture. It doesn't provide any better analysis than what currently exists. And for the cost that you're spending on this, you would need it to do that, right? They're essentially touting this as like a low cost X-ray, MRI, CAT scan kind of deal, where hospitals would be able to afford it where others couldn't before. And apparently their demo video is it shows the machine, right? It shows like the truck like Nikola did, but then when it shows the results or it shows the machine working, it's like, well, that's not how this machine would work. All the radiologists looking at it are going, that's not how that machine would work. That's not how that machine would operate. And then the pictures that it shows are also aren't what would come out of that. That looks like an image that would come out of this machine here, not your machine. So that's where a lot of the conjecture is right now, where you've got multiple radiologists looking at the images that are coming out of this machine supposedly and going, this is bullshit. Not one of us buys this. And then the company coming back and saying, well, we're at a hospital that won a Nobel Prize in medicine, so what do you know? What makes me shady on the legitimacy of it is that it's an Israeli stock. It's not based in the US or in Asia. Like this is a hospital out of Israel that apparently is showcasing this. And it's like, well, I don't know.
Well, I can't wait. I cannot wait till this year is over or whatever the fuck all this stuff that's making it into the public market that usually doesn't.
We had 8 SPACs on Friday. Did you guys know that? 8.
What are those? Like, I'm starting to see that term slung a lot.
It's companies just buying defunct stocks that are just sitting on the market with tickers not doing anything.
Like Playboy?
Well, yeah, they're gonna, but Playboy is buying a ticker, right?
I love one of the comments on there. It's just like instead of when the article said you too can be an owner and buy Playboy stock, and then someone said, I think there's a misinterpretation in this article. It should say you too
yeah,
Playboy stock.
IT and medical are 2 different things, and I don't trust medical out of countries that aren't US and Japan and South Korea and the UK. I'm just one of those picky bio traders like that. It would be like Russia or China saying that they've come up with a cure for COVID. When South Korea confirms that, I'll believe it. But until then, I'm not buying that bullshit.
Rita, I'm like 2 pages away from finishing that article, but all I can say is that, damn, the issue I take with it is it's literally saying that the most prized times are yearly rebalances or quadruple bridging and stuff. But then it go like the tier is there, and then it goes to like quarterly expirations, then monthly expirations, and then from monthly to weekly, and then and so forth or whatever, right? But it's a descending scale. But for the most part, anything below quarterly is relatively the same amount of what was that thing? Trillions in trade or whatever, the activity. The problem I take with that is that on like from what I've been taught, like on the quarterly days, especially like the rebalance days and stuff like that, they
Current swings, space would be the most current swing. I think that's headed into the 22nd. Everything else is kind of waiting into Q4. APSG. ASAQ. Redemption. Have you ever seen the .U designation on TD? I'm building out a watch list right now. There were 8 tickers that went SPAC on Friday. I'm just trying to see how many of them actually went up above where they were supposed to start. No, I exited my BB position. It's going to be a little bit further out than I had thought. When the conversation shifts off of EV into automated driving, I'll look at BlackBerry again. This is interesting. Flux is still going, huh? Let's take a look. Yeah, Flux it's coming right back up to this $8 line. Last 10 days it's been a tear for sure. From $5 to $7.60. Yep. That is a wild tear. Digging it, digging it, digging it. And she's not stopping. She wants it. Crazy, 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 crazy. You think it's worth $10? Let's go back a year. I mean, it was up at that $10 range a year ago. Go back to February, it was up there. And it was kind of all over the place here. Super low volume, though. It's starting to get volume here around height, but I think as it comes up to this, I don't see why it wouldn't return to this. Later, Smash. Take it easy, man. Seeking Alpha is having some troubles this morning. Control F5, huh? Nope, it's not that. It's on Seeking Alpha side. Yeah, unfortunately, Seeking Alpha is not currently working, so that's not going to do us any good to go over there and look at that. So let's pull up scanners and see what's going nuts here. WWR halted. What is this? Westwater Rescue GRNQ is coming down from its 130% run. We got a second halt here. Pain R Farm. It's interesting. I wonder what's going on with it. A lot of biostocks in here right now. A lot of biostocks. Let's see the heat map here. Energy is looking relatively green. Financials is looking green at the top. Tech is looking green at the top. Industrials are down. American Airlines down. UAL down. American Airlines is $12. That's crazy. With layoffs pending, we don't hear about stimulus, right? Telecom is not looking great. Where's the healthcare sector? Healthcare. Gilead, BMY, Regeneron. So Gilead and Regeneron were the two that Trump used for treatment. BMY is down on their lead drug not getting a positive approval. Thermo Fisher's up. Alexon, Cigna. Group by. What if I just want to look at a single sector? Can I do that? No. Won't let me do that. Index. No, that's what I want. I want that. I guess I could go all US. I don't know if it's going to change things much, but trending CCXX, GAN, Lithium, Americas, LAC. Smith & Wesson's making a run for it. Holy crap, look at LAC. This is battery day, like pre-battery day, it just went. It just went for it. Look at LAC. This thing just went with it after battery day. Everybody loves batteries, everybody loves lithium. Here we go. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Buckle up. we don't have a date on the SPAC Fisker IPO. There's no specific date set out. Typically, I would go to Seeking Alpha to get that news, but they are questionable at the moment. Weeble is down. Yeah. Internet is down. All points of access to interwebs are dying. Yeah, Seeking Alpha is boned here. This is not going well. Let's head over here maybe and take a look at. What do you got for me? Can anybody see a more solid date on the Fisker merger with SPAC? I'm reading through the stuff and I don't see a specific date outlined. DraftKings is dropping another 32 million shares into the market. Why does Hillian come up when I type in Fisker? Space launch is the 23rd. Of October. Sorry, the Citron tweet? How do I wake up so early? Because I have to. Them's be the working hours, man. That's when I get up. That's when I get rolling. And it's kind of habitual for me now at this point. Wait, am I reading this correctly, Rita? This is Citron. This is a short firm that is bullish on something.
Yeah, it's kind of bizarre to me.
Well, Oh, this is the medical shroom thing that somebody was telling me about earlier today. Yeah, no, I disagree with Citron on this one. Only because we saw something similar happen with marijuana and medical marijuana, right? And look at the value that's had. It's still going to be a class 1 drug in the US. I don't see it going anywhere. I would have a similar outlook on CMPS as I do with ACV. This is really odd that Citron is so bullish. $100 price target? My ass. $100? Really? Yeah, I know we talked about this earlier, guys. No way. No.
Pathways. That sounds like the Toronto underground system.
Yeah, no. Guys, no. Even if it... Okay, so breakthrough medication. Let's say that magic mushrooms are approved as breakthrough medication, okay? In what way are they going to have proprietary hold on magic mushrooms? Even if they bring it to market, anybody that is currently taking shrooms or wants to take shrooms has a dealer or is growing mushrooms themselves. You know how hard it is to grow mushrooms? It is not. Little bit of poop, a little bit of spores. Let her run. It's that easy. It is not an overly complicated process. And I understand people saying, well, you know, you want to go to a medical facility and make sure that they're super safe and yada, yada, yada. Bull. They can they patent a strain? They would have to design the strain. They would have to prove that the strain didn't exist before they got to it. All this does is validate those out there saying, well, let's legalize shrooms too. And then on the coattails of this one, look for the one that's saying, let's take a look at LSD, right? Let's just legalize LSD. I mean, at this rate, that coca plant is looking pretty tasty because it's coming down the pipeline too, right? I mean, is this just the evolution of what we're going to be doing here? Because this feeds right into that Republican stereotype that you legalize one and now everybody wants you to legalize everything else. Again, I would not touch CMPS, and I'm going to keep saying this. I wouldn't touch CMPS. I wouldn't touch ACB. Touch Cron. I wouldn't touch CGC unless Biden wins the election, in which case make your own due diligence call on that, because this shit is not going to go north unless we see it go recreational statewide. Yeah. Now, do I see the Canadian government potentially legalizing mushrooms for anxiety disorders? Absolutely. But that's not a lot of money. If you guys want to see what happens to a company that gets medical license exclusively from the Canadian government, here's OGI. OGI ran to $10 from $1, and now it's back down to $1. These stocks are not worth $100. No way, no how. Citron, I disagree. You're high. Somebody hacked your account or something, but there's no way. Maybe you are high. Maybe you're mushrooms fans, which is why you're tweeting this out. But 7, what do you need help with, man? Just throw it in the chat, and I'll do my best to help you. AMR
You're gonna
and
see Tom Nash had a new video out. It's about Nicola.
More Nicola. Oh no, not like this.
Nicola just dropped a bombshell about their future.
Oh, I got a bombshell for their future. It looks like a dumpster on fire. WFC. Wells Fargo, huh? I mean, that's not a bad price for Wells Fargo, I gotta be honest. Are you insinuating that somebody can't take constructive feedback? Martini's very good about taking constructive feedback when it comes to her video editing. Now, for me, I just wing it and export it and put it out there. Okay, my thoughts on WFC are that's a pretty decent price on WFC. This is over 10 years, guys. Look, I think it's got room to move up for sure. Definitely got room to move up. This is the last 10 years. I can't go past 10 years, so this is the last 10 years. 26 was kind of low. I think this bounced back. I'm going to ask a question here, and let me preface it with I am acutely aware of Wells Fargo, the fraud that they are, and everything that is terrible about them, okay? So I've prefaced it with that. Now, Wells Fargo's at $24 right now. It has not been this low in a decade. Financial sector as a whole, heading into Q1. Yeah, I'm not going to buy into Canadian banks. Oh, I see.
Like when everybody else is convinced to short this thing, not just Eisman. Eisman's been bearish for this thing for like the last decade, but he's also been like, I think the term was alpha hedging, where he's actually simultaneously long and short at the same time. But yeah, like he's been short.
My issue with that is this. The Canadian banking system is not the same as the US banking system. We really only in reality have 3 or 4 banks. The government is not going to allow the banks to fail.
No.
So all the insight that he's offering, like I hear the arguments against the Canadian banking system, but the reality is this: we aren't the U.S. These aren't small local bank chains, right? We're talking there are 4 major banks across Canada. You've got TD, you've got Nova Scotia, you've got Royal Bank, you've got I guess you could argue Bank of Montreal or Caisse Populaire, depending, but that's it.
What was it? I think the problem with it is that Eisman doesn't understand that, like in the society he lives in, they hate the banks, and especially if it's relevant news for them, they will shit on the banks and like come in with regulatory means and stuff like that, right? But Canada is more of a socialist country to the point where they say, don't worry, it's not that bad. You know, it's not as bad as the US over there with their capitalism and shit, right? Like
apparently Canada's Italian now. We got out of the bank with the money.
What are you saying?
Yeah, I mean,
it's like a mock for them, but it's just they're not gonna let it. I mean, their investments are in those banks anyways, and they don't really.
There's no way. There's no way. If we're gonna bail out Air Canada endlessly, you think they're gonna let the banks fall? No. Sorry. Banks and healthcare are the last 2 to go.
My expectations for like a balanced budget or any of that normal stuff that an actual functioning country that has good books would actually see, it kind of goes out the window when the prime minister, the guy who leads the country, says, "Don't worry, the budget will balance itself."
Yeah, I mean, thankfully he's not the one actually running the government, but on the downside, he's not actually the one running the government. Because Bill Moore knows not much better. He's a muppet himself. Yeah, I'm not going to bet against Canadian banks, I think is kind of where I leave that. I appreciate all the insights on it, but I'm not going to bet against something that's going to be propped up endlessly by the government. It's the same reason why I'm not going to play Boeing, right? I have my own thoughts on why Boeing should die a terrible death, but I don't think it's going to die because it's going to be endlessly propped. Okay,
like
Wells Fargo.
Yeah, it hit 22 twice. So I don't know, 24 on this downtrend just seems kind of highish, but
into election.
Banks into
election.
You have to put it as unlisted, Rita.
Just hit it as enlisted. Nobody can, unless
Nope.
they have the link.
Unless
can't
they
go
have a
in.
link, yeah. It's not going to be posted to your channel. But yeah.
Saki, what do you mean war on the horizon? Yeah, I participate in the morning call. Injection of stimulus. People know that when Trump comes back in, there's going to be more dollars. Well, either way, there's going to be more dollars. It's just going to be pumped. I think XLF goes up. And when was the last election? 2016, right? Through the fall of 2016? Is that right? Yeah, Trump election was against Clinton was November 2016. And I'm Yeah, but what I'm saying is, like, if you got in October of 2016, right, when Wells Fargo was 45 into Q1 of the following year. Hmm. Yeah, because I mean, what I'm seeing is, the high on October. What is this? This is October here, right? Yeah, September. Unless my charts are screwed, like I'm seeing a 46 to 43 range in October of 2016. And then I see November peak around that 53. Yeah. What was the one before that then? 2011? Well, 2012 would have been the inauguration would have happened, or the election itself would have happened in the November, but it would have been from shit. Okay. Study time. Yay. That was Obama Romney, right? Yeah. Yeah, so the election was 2012 into 2013. So October entry, I'm looking at a range of like 32 to 34 on this. And then by January, it was like 35. So not nearly as much movement on that one. But I think that this was a smooth transition of power kind of deal, right? Because everybody just expected, um, yeah, Obama to win again. Whereas with Trump, it was a different animal, right? Now with Trump, I would say on this election, nobody expects Trump to win again. I know the popular opinion here is that Trump wins again, but I don't think that's the expectation, right?
You can't really, like, for 2008, you can't really take that as a data point because of the housing crisis. So,
Yeah, it makes it a little bit difficult to get that solid. This is what's happening. But seeing that, looking over the last decade, for this to be sub 25 headed into an election where either way we know that stimulus is coming, right? Cash injection into the economy is coming, which typically fares well for financial institutions, doesn't it? More money
you're
in
trying
the
to-
market.
Are you trying to make this a short play or
No,
like
no, long.
no, like I mean, sorry, like short term play or like a long term play?
No, into January, February.
That's probably fine. Because we did see that run up on the first stimulus, kind of like acting out in like the May June area. I mean, it fell back down again, but
Look at January 30s. Screw 30s. Look at January 25s on Wells Fargo. They're $2. I think this is getting big letters for me to consider putting my options wins from space into this.
I don't know how I feel about 25s.
I mean, it's 24.30 now.
Yeah, if you expect it to run, 25s are too close. That's my opinion.
You're saying it would be better to get more of them at a further out strike?
If you're expecting a move on stimulus, like election or post election, then yes.
So like
if that is the play you're trying to make, then yes, you need to go for at least the next one up. If not just the 30s.
The 30s at 64. Get 3 of them for the price of 1 and expect the movement anyway to take it into strike. No, I'm not going to sell puts. No, I would. When I play options, I play them stupid simple, guys. I'm not getting into those selling puts. I'm not doing that. I'll buy a call or I'll buy a put. Yeah.
An interesting thing is that you don't even need to get it to strike as long as it happens long enough before your expiry. You just need it to go in that direction at momentum and you'll make a fuck ton.
Yeah, not a DGen confirmed, guys. I'm not going to do married puts or put spreads or iron con. None of that crap. I am with options. It is stupid simple. I buy calls or puts with strike and expiry. That's it. I'm a simple man. I am, as Martini can lovingly attest to, I am a basic bitch, and I like to keep it that way. I find when things aren't complicated, it leaves less room for error. The second I try to get fancy with things start to fall apart. So I want to keep it as basic as I possibly can.
Buying options isn't easy though either.
No, buying equity is easy, which is why I typically buy equity. But I do have an options portfolio that's growing.
So, what do you think about the April 30s?
I'm just saying, anytime you touch options, it's now an 8D problem. There isn't ones that are more simple than others. I don't know.
I think I would take the January 30s over the Aprils, to be honest. I think as soon as the first business of order of anybody heading in or out of the election, whoever wins is going to be stimulus. Job loss and foreclosures doesn't mean anything to me. That means nothing. The cash injection is the play on this. Job loss and foreclosure doesn't mean anything if we're going to start pumping more unemployment dollars into people's pockets. Fury, recommendations on dividend stocks. For dividend stocks, I just recommend that you take a look at this spreadsheet with the champion. I don't make a recommendation. My opinion is take a look at the spreadsheet. and pick from the champion list at your leisure. These people over the last 25 years have increased their dividend year over year over year over year. That's where I would be looking for long-term opportunities in dividend investing. That probably didn't go over to YouTube, so let me put it here instead. There you go. Now you can see it on YouTube. This is also not a long hold play, right? This is for the fallout from job losses and for foreclosures to take place is going to take more than 6 months. I'm talking playing this into January. Wells Fargo is not going to be a play past that.
Yeah, my thinking is just that, like, if anything happens and 10, 11, 12, so 3 months isn't enough for the movements to follow through. Do you remember when the last stimulus was? Like the exact date? I can look that up.
Yeah, that's probably a good thing to look at is where that last stimulus injection came in and what that actually did for the price. Price target for space, 25. And I'm being conservative on that. It's very possible it could run far beyond 25. But 25 was my price target. I'd rather be right than wrong. My thoughts on the dividend for WFC is, unfortunately, WFC for me, you've now turned into this possible outlier play at the price that it's at, and nobody's talking about it yet. Space what expiry? I took October 30th. I like the 30th. I like that, having that other week instead of the day after the launch. I've got the next week out. Also, because IB cucks me with if I'm in the strike, they sometimes just close the position on me the day of expiry. So I'd rather have the following week so they're not screwing me. I can choose when to exit instead of them. Okay, last stimulus payment was
Okay, so March 27th it was signed. April 15th they went out, and we saw like a very, very small movement and then a decline and then a big movement over in June when they announced like how much money was in everybody's bank accounts. So what I'm thinking is that, like, if you have a 3-month buffer, that might just not be enough to see all the movement play out. So my reasoning is that if you take April's, if you see the movement early enough, you can still cash out for the profit. But if you don't see the movement early enough, then you still have another few months.
Yeah, I like that reasoning. Looking at that June candle, like you're looking at the same giant wick with a red finish, right? Where it spiked up to like 35. Yeah. I mean, what am I paying for that extra time though? I'm paying 40 cents. Yeah, it's 40 cents an option. That 40 cents is worth it though, for the time. An extra 4 months. Yeah, an extra quarter for $40. That's not breaking the bank.
You're almost doubling the premium, but you're more than doubling the expiration.
I like it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I do have to cut the stream. I've got things to do. It's Monday. I've got real life stuff where I'm doing real jobs and whatnot. Market's kind of crazy. Thank you for putting me onto Wells Fargo. I'm going to beat my head against the desk for a little while and wrestle with this. I will catch you guys tomorrow, 4:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you're not following, subscribing, do all that jazz. I will catch